What did you consider a luxury? I learned to hold my pee for 8 hours straight in middle school. Not because of a medical condition, but because my shoes had holes in them and the bathroom floor was always wet. Those shoes were supposed to last me 2 years. My mom got them at Goodwill, and they were already worn when I got them. By 8th grade, the soles had completely separated from the front. I used duct tape, but it only lasted a few days before water would seep through. The school bathroom always had wet floors, leaky toilets, kids washing their hands and splashing everywhere, you name it. If I went in there, my socks would get soaked. And once your socks are wet, everyone knows. They squelch when you walk. People notice. So I held it every single day, from 7 a.m. until 3 p.m., when I could run home. I became an expert at it. I knew exactly how much water I could drink at breakfast without consequences. Half a glass? No more. I'd watch other kids chug their juice boxes at lunch, and I'd just sit there with my dry mouth pretending I wasn't thirsty. My mom didn't know. She was working 2 jobs just to keep our lights on. She'd leave for work at 5 a.m. and wouldn't get home until 9 p.m. The last thing I wanted was to add shoe money to her list of things to worry about. I saw her cry over bills enough times. I wasn't going to be another bill. Some days were worse than others. During winter, the cold made it harder. My body wanted to go more frequently, but I couldn't. I'd sit in math class, doing multiplication tables in my head, anything to distract myself from the pressure in my bladder. Other kids would raise their hands and just go, so casual about it, like it was the most normal thing in the world. And I guess for them, it was. I started avoiding drinking fountains. I'd walk past them even when my throat felt like sandpaper. My teachers probably thought I was the most hydrated kid in school because I never asked for bathroom breaks. Ryan sat 3 rows ahead of me in English class. I'd had a crush on him since 6th grade, but guys like him didn't notice girls like me. His backpack was always new. His clothes never had stains or loose threads. He lived in a world I could only imagine. One time he dropped his pencil and it rolled near my desk. When I picked it up to hand it back, I noticed my hands were shaking. Not because I was nervous, but because I hadn't eaten anything since the free breakfast at school, 7 hours ago. He said thanks and smiled, completely unaware that simple interaction was the highlight of my entire week. I was terrified he'd find out about my shoes, about how I lived, about how some nights we ate cereal for dinner because that's all we had, about how my mom would pretend she wasn't hungry so my little brother and I could eat more. The shame was suffocating. It wasn't just about being poor, it was about being invisible because of it. Like poverty had somehow made me less than human, less deserving of basic dignity. I remember one girl in my class, Sarah, complaining about how her parents only gave her a $50 allowance instead of $100 that month. $50. That was more than my mom spent on groceries for our entire family for 2 weeks. I just sat there, nodding along, pretending I understood her struggle. The worst part wasn't the hunger or the broken shoes or even the physical pain of holding it all day. It was the constant performance, the exhausting act of pretending everything was normal, laughing at jokes about things I'd never experienced, staying quiet when everyone talked about their weekend plans that cost money. But one day, in March, I couldn't anymore. I was in so much pain, I was shaking. I finally gave up and went to the bathroom during lunch. I tried to tiptoe, tried to avoid the puddles, but it was impossible. My socks were drenched. When I came out of the stall, I froze. There, sitting right outside the door, were someone's sneakers. Nice ones. The kind that cost actual money. My crush, Ryan, was standing there in just his socks. I saw you limping earlier, he said quietly. Just wear these home. Give them back tomorrow. I started crying right there. He just handed me his shoes and walked away like it was nothing. The next day, I tried to give them back. He wouldn't take them. Said he had another pair. 15 years later, I married that man. Sometimes I smallest acts of kindness become your whole world. For those who grew up poor, what did you...
I want to go to heaven where there's no pain. Maybe if you went to heaven, you want to be with me and Daddy anymore, and you leave a hole in my heart. I'm sorry, Mommy. I don't want to make you sad. I just want it to be over.
There you go. There you go.
It's okay. It's gonna make you feel better, okay?
You need bottles, right? All right, all done. All done.
Annabelle appears to have a very severe intestinal motility disorder.
Is that count?
It's related. Your body can't process food. There's no cure, is there? I'm sorry to say the presently.
Almost hurts, Mommy. Ooh. Okay, let me get you dressed.
I am a healthy pirate. Okay, let's take a look. Let me see. How's it done?
Hurts. You said I threw up and it was green.
Yeah, that's why we're gonna do some more tests. Okay? Anna's not responding to the medicine as well as I hoped she would. So she needs to be closely monitored. I just want to make sure she doesn't have any obstruction that requires surgery. Once the episode resolves, she can go home.
What's your name? Haley? I'm Anna. Do you have cancer? I have a weird stomach disease. That sucks. I have a weird bone disease. It always hurts. Me too. Are you afraid you're gonna die? Sometimes. It hurts, Mommy. Don't you understand that it never stops hurting? It never stops. I wanna die. I wanna go to heaven where there's no pain. Maybe if you went to heaven, you wanna be with me and Daddy anymore.